Hey guys, Makers Church, we are so excited to see you. I'm Pastor Chalese, and this is my bestest friend,
Chelsea.
yeah! Chelsea and I have not seen each other in a very long time, except we do take walks sometimes, always 6 feet apart.
But
But
how do you not hug this woman? It's so hard.
that's what I'm saying. Man. Okay, so this week at Makers Church, we are starting a brand new series on some reflections from the book of Lamentations. And when I was thinking about this idea of lament and mourning, the loss of all your plans and your ideas and your thoughts and all these things that you wanted to do, I thought of Chelsea because she is the best planner I know in the entire world. So I've invited Chelsea. We are going to have just a short conversation today on what it means to lament in this season. But I'm going to have her tell you guys a little bit about herself first. So, Chelsea, take it away.
I've been going to Maker's Church for almost a decade.
Wow.
Since 2010. It was the very first Sunday after Chalese and I moved in together many years ago. So I'd say the way that you might, ways that I serve or the places where you might see me is usually in the worship band. Mm-hmm. I've done all sorts of things. I've done lights and slides. I used to run the podcast for a while. I usually serve in areas that are not largely social. You might think, well, that's funny, you bid on stage, but it's actually no social expenditure. I'm an introvert. I am in a service capacity in my professional life. I'm a licensed clinical social worker at a hospital, and I'm around people all the time, serving people every day. So I have been able to find a niche at church where I get to serve, but also I can, be a wallflower at times and
I love it.
go to my safe people after the gatherings are over because it can be overwhelming.
Yeah. I think you were my first friend that phrase like opposites attract. It really, absolutely. It makes sense for us.
Oh yeah, 100%. I watch you and I'm like, I'll just text her goodbye. She at least
I have to hug every single person goodbye.
Yeah, and it's great.
When we come back to church, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be there for 3 weeks straight, just hugging everybody. Just, all coming in.
So I'll schedule a coffee date before that.
Perfect.
It'll be great.
That's a good plan. So I know that you're still working, but what is changed for you in this season?
Yeah, I'm still going to work 5 days a week. Really, that hasn't changed at all. Within the workspace, it's kind of interesting because I serve folks who have mental health issues, and strange that it turns out that a lot of them actually have more coping ability and capacity than maybe they even thought.
Wow.
What that means to us is you have more tools and you have more strength than you think you do.
Yeah.
So we've actually been slow with our mental health patients, and even the medical patients, I think they try to stay away as much as they can or as long as they can because people with pre-existing conditions are afraid to get something else, and specifically COVID-19. So I still have to go. And what's interesting is that there's such a pressure outside of work to practice social distancing and to be responsible and to stay home. The first time I saw that little Instagram sticker that says stay home, I kind of laughed because I'm like, I can't. And my husband is an extrovert, opposites attract, and he has to work from home and he's dying.
Yeah.
And we talked about it the other day, and I was like, I feel like we should switch if we could. We really, would benefit by it.
Right.
So, I love planning. Chalese you said I'm good at it.
You are.
It's just something, it's not work if you love it. There's that there's that skit or on Parks and Rec, and Leslie Knope is like dating an online or about to start a dating, profile, and her friends like, tell me some of your like hobbies, and she's like, jamming on my planner. And she's like, no, that sounds boring. Or actually she says like organizing my schedule. And then she's like, no, that's boring. Jamming on my planner. And so my planner's still in use. Now I don't get to schedule, coffee date with Chalese or, sushi date. But it's like, okay, walk with Chalese, walk with Emily Norton, walk with family, and everything is, it's really all walks.
Yeah, it's just a lot of exercise.
I know, I hear people like, the stress is heightened at home and some unhealthier coping skills are, rolling out for some folks and in some households. And I feel sad to hear that. But it's just not in my space. I've just been working in the capacity that I do. I think a lot already. A lot of energy goes into, all right, how can I self-preserve? And how can I be less tired emotionally? And how can I be more ready to answer my husband when he asks, how was your day afterward? And so it's sort of strange that this shift in everyone's life and in normalcy is like, that part's kind of not hard for me. Because I'm a social person, but I'm an introvert and I get tired easily with that. But I also have a hard time saying no.
Right.
Or cancel,
Yeah. I feel like all the introverts are really enjoying this season. And then all the extroverts are secretly dying. Like your husband's an extrovert and I'm an extrovert and my husband's an introvert. He's in heaven. He's like, I just work from home. It's great. Also, neither of us have kids. So we definitely, I think, feel for all of our families who are stuck at home with children and chaos and, all with like schools being shut down. I know that so much has changed. But you said something about, having like those tools earlier and like access to those tools. What would you say for somebody who has no like frame of reference for how to process their feelings? You're really great at processing your feelings, like understanding how you're feeling, articulating it, and acting on it. I imagine there's a lot of people in the season who don't quite have access to those. So what would be like your advice for somebody who's maybe feeling sadness for like plans getting canceled or feeling that like heavy lament in this season, doesn't really know what to do with it?
Yeah, it's hard, because the alternative ways to try and make yourself feel some joy will often feel not good enough. One of my favorite, I'm not great with quotes, but one of my favorite quotes by C.S. Lewis, he says that do not let your happiness depend on something you can lose. And that's just really profound to me. And it's probably something I repeat the most because in your life you lose a lot, and it's not just death. It's, people leaving your life, loss of jobs. Some of these things are super relevant now, but, I would say start from scratch. You might have a lot of time on your hands right now. Some of us do. And, you have to start thinking about what the simple joys are in your life, because I know it's easy to think of, your profession or your job, your occupation as the thing that like gives you worth,
Absolutely.
And and I get that because it's natural. You should feel pride with what
absolutely.
you accomplish. But again, you got to start from scratch. You have to think of the small and simple things that bring you joy. Like we put a hummingbird feeder out on our balcony. And we did it like months ago. But like, it's so fulfilling to like be sitting on the couch and then the hummingbirds fly up.
I love that.
It's like,
it's amazing.
It's like so stupid, but every time it happens, we're like, oh my God, look at that.
The hummingbirds are here.
I mean, and going on walks, I'm like, do flowers look different now? Like they look so pretty. Like, things are, only when we slow down and we make space do we allow for more to, enter our consciousness,
Wow.
and that might just be observing nature.
Yeah.
Might be listening to a song and you're like, this sounds different to me now. Why did I not hear some of the details before, or I didn't pay attention to that lyric before,
Yeah.
And so,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, we just have a lot of space being made right now. And even me, even though I'm going to work every day, I do have some space to, think about what I want to come home to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how does that look different? And it's hard, but it's also good. Everything good should be a little bit hard,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say like the biggest things that I don't get to do that I want to do that bring me such joy is like travel. I had to cancel a trip. It all started with the cruise that didn't happen, and I was like, oh, come on. No. Because every day we learn something different. And I'm like, well, I don't get to travel with my family. I don't even get to hug them. I don't even get to go to their house, because those are the choices that we've made in our family. We don't go to each other's house.
Yeah.
If you don't live under the same roof, then we don't get to do that, So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I go on walks with my parents now.
Yeah.
Or I guess we play games on the computer.
Yeah. It's fun. I just got off a Zoom call with my family. My sister Taryn lives in New York, and we don't get to see each other all the time. And I was just thinking, like, why don't we do this? We've had access to this technology. It's not like this is new technology, but we just never thought to do it. And so I think there's something about having access to those tools that maybe we haven't used before. Maybe it's just walking outside or, getting on a Zoom call with your family or things like that. I think there's something powerful in that of like, what are we going to take into and out of this season that we'll hold on to of like, let's not stop doing this. So what's like, if there was one thing that you feel like you want to take into and out of this season, what do you think that'll be?
I think that there's when we have extra space or extra room, the temptation is to fill it. Right?
Yep.
And I see that, I see all these apps popping up and games being played with each other, and I love it. And nothing against application games, but when we feel loss or grief, we're tempted to like replace it, like try and
that's so good. Yeah.
And like you get hungry and you want to eat, but sometimes I think we need to be more mindful about like what we want to fill that space with. And you said something to me the other day, and it was like, well, I think it's good to be cautious of what we're filling our extra time with right now, and are those things that we would fill our time with, that we're going to continue to fill our time with, and I've been just trying to think, that really resonated with me, and I've been trying to think about, what do I want to fill this space with? Because before we know it, and it feels like forever right now, before we know it, we're not going to have the time that we have right
now. Wow.
We're not going to have this space, and I would say give that time, like let that marinate, give time to that thought. What do you want to keep, after all of this? Because if you don't want it later, then maybe it's not. Yeah, maybe it's not worth the time right now.
That's so good. I love that. Well, hopefully you'll keep me. Forever and ever. Awesome. Thanks for coming on here and sharing. I'm always so inspired by you, and I know our community loves you as well, and it'll be great for everybody to just get to hear from you. So I love you so much.
Love you. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.